Howdy folks, it's been months. We've had this thing laying around here for about 6, maybe more months. We finally, today, the weather's perfect here in Texas. You know, it's a cold 81 degrees this morning here. Yeah, southern Texas. So it's perfect. You and I are gonna build this today. It's a Harbor Freight tool, but it's something that I would never have noticed. I would have walked past it at Harbor Freight and just said, you know, I wouldn't have even thought about it. But when I saw this at the consignment store and the wife found it and showed it to me and says, hey, look at this thing. It was $19. I was, you know what, we got to bring this thing home and we're going to put it together and review it. You, me, are going to find out if there's any parts missing too, because I don't know. It's all still in the box, so I think we're going to do okay. Let's find out. So the first thing I had to do was just lay the box down. It's heavy, and according to the instructions, the very first step is to set the horse up upside down. So I got to get all this junk out of the way and get the horse part of it or whatever out of here so I can lay it up. Apparently the next step is just stand this thing up on its feet. Yeah, and there we go. I'm gonna have to back up a little bit so we can see what's going on. So we've got kind of a nice workbench. There's some cardboard here. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. The next thing to do in the steps was to drop these guys into these square holes, apparently. So I'll just, I don't know, throw one down. And then we'll put the other one down this end. They look, yeah, okay, they are, no, they're not identical. This one has this piece, this one doesn't. Okay, back to the instructions and let's find out what I'm doing wrong here. There's a little bit of wind out here today, so I apologize for that. This is on backwards. You know, I had to go over the instructions and I could not get it clear as to how this is supposed to go together. And so I had to take a look at the picture where they have the whole thing put together so I could relate back to where this stuff's supposed to be, because this is actually backwards. This is supposed to be this way apparently, like that, and then it would go in. Now there's a couple of things they call steel plate. I wouldn't exactly describe that as a steel plate, but these little clips, these like C-clips, they have to go over the ends. So we'll put those on, and then we'll get the knobs to lock in this way so that you can lock the height of these. But this has to be on, and obviously the hole is going to be on the outside, and then you put this in apparently. So yeah, the instructions are like all instructions. They're not very clear. When I was looking at this kit, I actually thought these were rollers. They're not rollers. They're just a rest area for your lumber. Yeah, kind of confusing, but it's okay. We're doing all right. Also, there's a slide out here on each end, so you can really, you know, make this baby wide, you know. So we got a knob at each end, and the knobs will, I guess, just go straight in. I didn't see any protection for the square tubing here. Yeah. First problem I'm seeing with the kit so far is the instructions aren't very, not very clear. But let's just bring this back in, I guess. We'll put the knob on here. They have protection on the tubing here, but they don't have anything here. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, typical Harbor Freight stuff? Nah, typical anybody stuff. There's also a handle. It's pretty basic. I don't think there'd be too much there. This thing so far is, yeah, it's very sturdy. So, wow, let's go to the next item. So the handle just slides over this end where you can tell where it goes, and they just put two screws and nuts here to lock the handle on. When you look at your kit, there's screws with washers, nuts, and some kind of weird fittings and stuff in here. So I assume, because the instructions aren't very clear, I guess this is what they're using at this point. I'm just guessing, because I really, you know, the instructions aren't clear enough, and obviously nothing is marked, so you really don't know what you've got here. Let's do the wheels or something. We had to wait for the blower that's about a mile away from here to finish blowing grass or something. Yeah, anyway, we're back. I assume, ooh, wow, that's heavy. I assume this is the wheels. I hope it's the wheels. If it's not, oh boy. Yeah. So I didn't inventory or check any of this over since we've had it sitting here. So, yep, there's 2 wheels in here. Yay! Yeah, I'm kind of glad to see those wheels. I was wondering. But, yeah, okay, so wow. Man, those are heavy. Okay, so we got 2 really heavy wheels here that to mount. So they mount on this end where you see these brackets, and then you've got pin. Let's see how to do this. Now we got pins here for the wheels, 2 sets. So we'll put these, I guess we'll put them through. Alright, that makes no sense. Alright. Looks like we're going back to the destructions again. Oh my god. Is this for real? So we went over the destructions again, and I'm still a little mystified, but apparently the shaft, I think it just rides like that, which I don't agree with, because you can see that this has that groove in there, and eventually over time I would think that would dig into the wheel, but of course the shaft itself could also turn, so we probably were okay on it. Not real fussy on the way they've got this set up, but again, it's, you know, one of those Harbor Freight things. We're just going to drop the shaft on like that, put it in these brackets they have on the back side, and theoretically that's going to be our set of wheels. I'll tighten these up, and then we come back, we'll get to the next step in the destructions. So I've taken one out of the box so far. I got to get the other one out yet too, but this is what they look like, and you have to push this red button to unlock it, and then you can pull this up, and this will allow it to, you know, slide up and down on the machine here. There's a couple of issues I see here I'm not happy with, and that is there's no, you know, piece of plastic or Teflon or something for these to slide back and forth. Of course, once you put these in position, I would imagine they're going to stay, because you're going to mount your compound miter saw on these, and that's going to be pretty much stationary, so it shouldn't be a big issue, but just something I sort of thought about a little bit. Now, there's 2 of them, of course, and the other thing with the instructions, it said if you can't get your compound saw on here and it won't bolt up to this pattern or something, they recommend you buy a 3/4 inch piece of plywood and put these 2 down. Let's get this other one out of here anyway, so get the box open and get the other one out. And then you can mount your miter saw, apparently, to the plywood, mount the plywood to this, and it gives you a pattern of what to cut. Yeah, there we go. There's the other one. Also, same thing, it has the red button that will unlock this. So, push that, unlock it, and okay, there's the other one. Okay, and so we're going to put these out, and I guess most people like myself would probably just locate these things in the center of the machine or the work area here somewhere like this. Looks like it's set up at this point that most compound miter saws should be able to fit within these slots, but yeah, you know, not all of them. In fact, the one I have that I was going to put on here actually does have a problem. It only has a pair of front bolts that mount to something like this, and that's it. There's no back bolts. I'm going to have to go over that and just have a look. So it's going to get interesting. So now we come to the fun part, trying to use this contraption after we've assembled it. We've got a bunch of hardware here to help us to bolt our saw in. The problem with this particular saw, and that's what makes this, you know, a little different, I've got 2 big bolts at the front here that I can bolt it to these with, and that's great. But at the back, the bolt hole or mounting hole is in the center at the back, which means there's nothing there. I've got some ideas. You know me. Yeah. Let's turn that around a little bit. So this is the back of the saw, and the mounting bolt is over here. So what I'm going to do is cut 2 pieces of steel and put 2 L brackets in on each side, one here and one on the other side, and it'd be a 3/8, I think it's a 3/8 hole for the bolt to to go through, so we can bolt the L bracket down and then just drive a, put a screw or a bolt through this casting right here. It's just flat casting back here, and on the inside there's nothing restricting me, so I can get this bolted onto this rig. Well, it's been all day, but as you can see, what I did here was I took a piece of aluminum and made an angle bracket out of it. Cut a 3/8 hole down through, squared it a little bit, put the carriage bolt in backwards, sort of, well, put it in this way because it's lengthy, and then drilled this out and put a bolt and a nut through here on the casting on each side, and that way this whole thing is now held to the rig. So we're looking pretty good. All right, I'm going to try to set this down and roll away with it and roll it back, whatever. If they find me in the hospital and I can't speak for myself because it was a terrible accident, you guys can tell the hospital, what happened, because I've never done this before either. I've locked the saw, so the saw, everything on the saw is held up and tight. I've got these brackets here pretty tight, so I guess the first thing to do is lower it down to the wheels. Yeah. Okay. So we've got that. Boy, those are tougher than I thought. Yep. Yeah. Let's see those and that. That one. Okay, and that will tip over and fall. Huh, so weight wise we don't work, but that's all right. We could do something funky. Yeah, but the idea is, of course, you can just drive off now. Okay, we're back. Now, let's see. Got an idea here. I'm just thinking, if we put this out far enough, this might act as a stand. Maybe that'll hold this up, so that because it's supposed to be able to sit in the upright position when it's parked. But let's try it again. I guess it's working. All right, so now you would pull this out like this, and I guess the first thing you would do is fight with these buttons and put these legs up first, and then set her down on the legs. Now, how do we get this up? There's no handle or anything to hold on to here at this end, so yeah, trying to decide how to do this safely. Yeah, okay. So I've got it. There's one, and okay. Whew. Yeah, not as easy as I thought. I'm wondering about this, but I'm not really sure why they comment in the description below. I don't know why did they do this, but yeah. I guess it was so you could you'd have a stop here. Well, no, that wouldn't even make sense. Huh. But if you have this out far enough, I guess it will hold the balance of the saw on a level driveway. We're not level, but I won't even fool you about that. But yeah, that was it. Hey. Wow, thank you for watching Coffee and Tools. Please like, share, and subscribe. It has been all day. The sun was over here. It's over there now. It's been a long day. Oh, I'm out of here. Over and out.